If giving your competitors free business is a hobby of yours, then this video is not for you. However, if you're not feeling very charitable, grab your notepad. This video is just for you. Over the past few years, I have audited hundreds of Google ad accounts, and I've seen countless campaign mistakes that destroy ad budgets and cost local businesses hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost potential revenue. In this video, I'm going to break down in detail 9 of the worst Google ad offenses that will shred your marketing budget, handing your competitors more business, and how to prevent that. So stick around. Okay, so mistake number 1, that is listening to the Google ad specialists. Right. So what you need to understand about Google ad specialists, they don't work for you, they work for Google. So it's their job not to make you more money, it's their job to make Google more money. These people are not marketers, they're not marketing specialists, they've probably never run marketing campaigns in their entire life. What their job is to extract more money from you and give it to Google. So what they'll do is they'll jump on a call with you and they'll say, hey, we recommend you, have these settings on and have these settings on and use these types of keywords and not these types of, not these types of keywords or something like that. And they will contact you. Sometimes they'll call you. Sometimes they'll email you. If you notice now in the new Google user interface, they'll have like a little blue button on the bottom right-hand side that says, hey, contact your Google specialist representative or something like that. Okay. These people are not your best friends. These people don't care about your results. They only care about making Google more money so they get paid. All right. So you don't really want to be listening to these Google ad specialists. What you want to do is if they do contact you, you want to be respectful to them and be nice to them because they can help you. They can help you understand, why a specific ad isn't being enabled or why it's been suspended or why your account's been suspended if it ever does get suspended. And they can help you with that sort of stuff. But as far as the marketing side goes and settings and campaign optimization, no, do not listen to these Google specialists. Okay, so mistake number 2. So this is when you run conversion-based bidding and you have no conversion data on your account. Okay. If you have an old account and you have conversion data on there, but it's for like a different offer and you're running a new offer, right? Conversion-based bidding is not going to work, right? If you're running a brand new account and you have no conversion data, conversion-based bidding is not going to work very well, right? You'll spend lots of money really quick. You get angry and frustrated and you'll say Google ads don't work. What you want to do instead is you want to run manual CPC bid strategies. This gives you more control, allows you to spend, more on specific keywords and less on other keywords, and it allows you to optimize your account. It's a little bit slower, but it allows you to optimize your account more gradually, and it's more sustainable. Okay. However, once you have, say, 50 conversions on your account for any specific offer, whatever it may be, then you can change your campaign bid strategy from manual CPC to the target CPA or max conversions. Okay. This is a much better way of doing it and it will save your sanity. Okay. Mistake number 3, and that is the networks that you advertise on. Okay. So if you're running a Google search campaign, what happens is that Google will automatically select and recommend, right, that you advertise on the search partners network and the display network. Okay. The problem with this is traffic that comes from display is terrible, terrible traffic. The only time you want to be using display advertising is when you're doing remarketing or retargeting, right? That's the only time that you ever want to be using display traffic or display targeting. The search partner network, right? This includes YouTube, right? And the rest, they don't really tell you else who your other search partners are. Okay. All Google tells us is that it's a bunch of other search networks that they own and YouTube. Okay. You as a local business, you are only wanting to advertise on Google search because that's where the vast majority of people go nowadays when they're looking for someone to help them with something is on Google search. So you want to untick the display network and untick Google search partners. All right, so mistake number 4, and this is the recommendation that Google gives you for your location targeting. Now, as a local service business, you're obviously servicing a local area. So it could be, a large city or it could be a whole state or whatever it may be. So there are 2 options that Google gives you. Their first one is their recommended, which is presence and interest. So what that means is anyone that is in or regularly in your targeted area, or anyone that's interested in your targeted area. Okay. And the second option is just presence. You want to pick just presence. The reason why you don't want to do presence and interest is because I don't care if someone's interested in Orlando or interested in Texas or interested in Dallas or whatever. Okay. They could be living in Bangladesh. They could be living in New York. They could be living in Australia. Right? I don't care if they're interested in it. I only care about people who are in or regularly in the area that I service. Okay. So the fact that Google's actually recommending you to pick presence and interests is a freaking rot. So you want to pick presence, not presence and interest. All right. So mistake number 5, and that is trusting and going off of Google's recommended budgets and Google's recommended bid prices. So with your budget, I like to try and go small. So, again, depending on what your industry is, obviously the budget you'll need for roofing is going to be more expensive than the budget you need for cleaners, right? But you'll know what your budget is, right? So I like to try and start small, and then I work my way up to big. So for example, I at least like to have a minimum of $1,500 a month, right? With my campaigns. Now, as far as bid goes, Google will say, "Hey, we recommend you bid, $5 on $5 a click. Or we recommend, $19 a click." Okay. I like to start out with like half of what they recommend. Half. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll get no traffic. So then what you do is you just slowly creep up your bid price until you start to get traffic, until you start to get clicks, and then you start getting conversions. All right. So yeah, that bid recommendation might be correct, but I like to try and find that out on my own rather than trusting Google. Right. So with budgets, I like to try at least minimum of $1,500 a month for any industry. And then with bid price, whatever Google recommends, I go half of that and then slowly creep my way up until I'm getting regular clicks and regular conversions. Mistake number 6. This is using broad match keywords. If you are running a brand new campaign, if you're running a brand new account and you start off with broad match keywords, you're going to waste so much money. Google will recommend you use broad match keywords. Using broad match keywords in the very beginning of any campaign is a terrible idea because you will be bidding and showing your ads on all sorts of junk searches. Okay. They may be loosely related to your keywords, but they are not profitable in the least. In the least. Now, what you want to do is you want to start off with phrase match and exact match keywords. Phrase match keywords are when you have your keyword and you have the quotation marks around the keyword, and exact match is when you have your keyword and you have the square brackets around the keyword. These will give you far better targeted traffic than using broad match. Now, here's what you want to do while you're running traffic, while you're running traffic to your broad match, to your exact match and phrase match keywords. You want to be creating and updating a negative keyword list. So you will, as you go through your search report, you will notice that you're showing up for a number of searches that you're like, no, I don't want to show up that one. But for example, competitor names. You don't want to show up for competitor traffic. Competitor traffic is terrible traffic and does not convert very well. Okay. So you want to add a negative keyword list for your competitor traffic. Stuff like cheap or free or DIY or any of those sorts of keywords. You add them to a negative keyword list and then you apply it to your campaign. So what then happens over a period of months, you will have this amazing negative keyword list. And you'll also have a lot of conversion data in your account. So what you can do is if you want to try and get out to those keywords and searches that you're missing that are profitable, once you have those in place, you can then apply broad match keywords to your campaign. And this works really well because now Google knows the types of searches you're looking for. Google knows the types of people that you're looking for, and it will show you to more searches that are related to what you want. So in a nutshell, do not start off with broad match. You need to create and update a negative keyword list. And once you have plenty of conversion data and you've been running your campaign for a few months, then you can then switch over to broad match keywords. Okay, so we're almost done. So number 7, that is having the auto apply recommendations on. Okay, so what you can do is you can have specific settings on, and Google will automatically do certain things for you. Okay, now this may sound fantastic, but it's not. And what happens is if you do end up jumping on a call with one of the Google Ads specialists, okay, they will actually tell you to turn on specific auto apply settings. I have none of them on. I never have any of them on, and I get great results. I have no problems at all. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna jump over my screen real quick, and I'm gonna show you how to find the auto apply settings and how to turn them off. Okay, so here we are. We are inside the Google Ads account, and you should look something similar to this. So to find your auto apply recommendation settings on here, you want to go to admin, and then under admin, you go to account settings. On the account settings, you then come to here where it says auto apply. So you can see I have none of them on, which is good. Right here, it says there are a bunch of recommendation types you can apply. You don't want any of them. So just to be sure that all of them are off, you go to auto apply settings here. And here are your different settings that Google will automatically do for you. Okay. You want to have them all off. Okay. I prefer to give Google as little control as possible. All right. I've used this in the past, and it's caused me nothing but heartache. And I've been running Google Ads now for many years, and I've been doing perfectly fine, fantastic for myself and my clients and my students with all of these off, all of them off. So make sure they're all off. You should be able to save it after that, and you should be good to go. All right. So mistake number 8, almost there. This is no conversion tracking or having bad conversion tracking. The whole Google Ads platform, particularly for local businesses, is based around conversions. What makes the phone ring? What brings in the lead forms? If you're not tracking that stuff, all you're doing is spraying and praying. You're spraying money at Google, and you're praying to the marketing gods that it's going to be profitable. Okay. You can't grow what you're not measuring. So you need to measure conversions. Now, there are 3 types of conversions that you want to have. Okay. So the first one, and this is a secondary conversion, right? Secondary action. Google will not optimize for this, but it will track it. And that is page views. So when someone clicks on your ad and then go to your page, you want to track that. So if you have 100 clicks, that does not necessarily mean that you'll get 100 people hit your page. You may only get 75 or 80. I've seen as low as 50. So you need to track that, because if you get 100 clicks and you're only getting 50 people come to your page, there's something wrong with your page. But if you're not tracking that, you'll never know. So landing page views is number 1. Number 2 is going to be phone calls. Anyone that makes a call from your website, you need to track that. You need Google to optimize for that. Right? And the last one is going to be lead form submissions. So anyone that comes from your ad, fills out a form, goes to your thank you page or your confirmation page, right? You need Google to track that and optimize for that. So just to recap, the 3 conversions we want are landing page views, phone calls from our websites, and lead forms submitted. Okay, last but not least, mistake number 9. Now, in my professional opinion, this mistake is the biggest cardinal sin that you can make with marketing, particularly with Google search ads as a local business. And if you mess up on this one mistake, it means nothing. It's all for naught, right? You've wasted all your time, wasted all that money. And that is sending traffic from Google to a homepage and not a landing page. A landing page has one purpose, and that is to take traffic and turn it into clients. That's the whole purpose. So you have an offer. You have one offer. You create a landing page around it. Okay. On that landing page, it's very clean. It's very simple. It's not crowded. Within the first 3 seconds, they know how to contact you. They know what the offer is, how you can solve their problem, and social proof. So testimonials, how many 5-star Google reviews. If you have video testimonials, even better. Okay. That's all you need on the landing page. A homepage is completely different. Homepage is like a brochure for your business. Okay. It's about you. It's the team. It's how long when we were established, and about the owner, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. No one cares about that. Right. If I'm looking you up and I need my house phone, or I need my roof done, I don't care if the owner has 5 kids. I don't care about your team members. All right. I only care about one thing is here's my problem. Can you fix it? How fast can you fix it? And do you have proof? Do you have proof that you can solve my problem? How do I contact you? That's all I care about. And that's what you want. You want to send traffic from Google to a landing page that will turn those clicks into your clients. Now, you may be making 2 or 3 of these mistakes, but remember, you are not alone, okay? A lot of local businesses are handed bad advice by Google reps. They set their campaigns up wrong, or they just let Google automate and run everything for them into the ground, okay? But the truth is that Google ads do work, especially for local businesses. Okay? They're amazing for local businesses if it's set up correctly. I use these exact strategies and avoid these mistakes every day. Every month, I'm working with HVAC pros, I'm working for roofers, cleaners, dentists, okay, all sorts of local businesses, and it works for them every single month. If you're tired of the guessing game and you really want some help with this, feel free to email me at support@adforge.agency. It'll be in the description below. We can jump on a call, have a chat, and I will see you in the next video.